Durag Diaries, yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to another Boardroom Talks where we got all the biggest and best Spurs creators to come and talk the real ish of what's going on in North London right now. As we know, since the last one, it's been the end of the transfer window. We've signed some new players. We're out of all the cups. And I think some people's minds have changed on what to do and where to go with this club, because boy, oh boy, as you can see right now, my flag's down. The flag's not up. There's nothing to rep with Spurs right now. Things are not good. But let me just introduce the panel for you, because we do have some new faces, some rejoining faces, some guys that have been here from the start, but we also have some new faces and more people to join. You'll see some different faces later on throughout the show. But first, but very not least, big up to my returning face, man like Ash, always on the channel, always showing love. Spurs Kings TV. How you doing, my bro?
There you are, my family tree. There, man. You know, we move, man. This is what builds character right now. We're seeing who's the men and who's the boys, separating the two. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, listen, people are falling down ill. I don't know where it's from. Apparently, there's something going around in North London. But hopefully, we can pull through. You see it? So yeah, man. Big up the chat as well. Big up everyone inside. Big up the panel. But love you.
Yeah, man. We hope so. We hope so. Hopefully we can pull through, because boy, it's not looking good right now. It's really not looking good. On to the new face, a guy that's always in the chat. He's always been around. People know who he is, but he's making his debut on the Boardroom Talks. He was on the channel for the first time this week, and I thought it's only right we bring him back. Man like Elijah, too much of E. What you say, my bro?
I'm good. I'm very grateful to be here. Very happy. And yeah, shout out to everyone in the comments. Shout out to everyone on the panel, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, man. It's good to have you. If you guys haven't, go watch his videos, man. They're so funny. He dropped one today, the SNN News. Trust me, you got to go over there. And again, another new face, a guy that I do another podcast with. You guys don't know, NSO, New Spurs Order. Make sure you go check that out, because we give some real conversations, some real stuff on Spurs, and plus you get different faces. Yao, how you doing, my bro? He's also here on his birthday, by the way, so make sure you wish him a happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Happy birthday.
No, I'm good. I'm blessed. Obviously, birthday, shout out. Spurs ain't playing today, so nobody can shame me on my birthday. So I'm proud. I'm happy to be here.
You're lucky, man. I'm pretty sure Spurs are playing on my birthday. I think last year we played Liverpool, so it was dark times.
You're outside, yeah, for your birthday, yeah? You're outside for your birthday. I heard that.
No, I'm outside right now for the birthday.
Oh, okay.
Before these man are falling about. Yeah, man. Can't do that, man. I'm not sicky, man. You get me, fam?
All right, come on, for real. And definitely last, but definitely not least, the guy that's just making waves on YouTube right now. The best place to be for any watch along, and I mean that even when I'm doing a watch along, I want to be watching his watch along, yeah, because the freestyles go crazy. They go crazy. Poster no clue. He's got no clue. The bars come from himself. Deji, how you doing, my bro?
Yeah, man. Trying to overcome the weather, but needed to be here with the man them assembled, the Avengers assembled. Bro, there's a lot to talk about, man. For me, I really want Daniel Levy to get a copy of this show tonight. We're asking for us, man, to be the new head coach and coaches for our club, because if we leave it under this brother, I'm not too proud to say, see you, man, at Huddersfield. Do you get what I'm saying? See you, man, at some of these places that I never thought I'd be reaching. So, but big up, man. Thank you, Jords, for having me. Big up to all the panelists. Do you know what I mean? And let's get into our club.
Yeah, man. It's always a pleasure. And I know we call a certain team Plymouth in the Premier League, but we could potentially be playing Plymouth next year. We really could. We really could. Times are getting dark. But let's just take it back. I think take it right back, because we actually haven't done a show since the January window closed. So I just want to get everyone's thoughts on the new signings. Kinski, everyone's had their word about Kinski. And I suppose when we talk about the games, certain men are going to have even more words. But just on Danso and Tel, I'll bring it to you, your first. What was your thoughts, or what are your thoughts on those signings, and what do you think they can do for us this season?
I'll start with Danso. So I'm just going to let everybody know straight off the bat. Danso's of Ghanaian heritage, but plays for Austria.
Yeah.
Big man.
That, man.
That's a recipe for madness. Yeah. That's a Ghanaian man. I'm telling you straight up. That does not make sense.
I'm half Ghanaian too, bro. I know.
brother, I'm fully
Austria,
Ghanaian.
right?
And as you know very well, Ghanaians don't have no middle ground. They're either very happy or extremely upset. So when every time we're conceding goals and this guy gets upset, we're gonna lose. Yeah, he's just gonna lose it. Don't be fooled by the fact that he plays for Austria. That does not negate the fact that his default setting is Ghanaian.
It's genetic.
Madman at centre back. Yeah, but you know, time will tell. I saw a few of the passes he made at Liverpool. He needs to understand gauging your power perception is very important in the professional game, because some of the passes he was making, he was pamming into man, pause, and man weren't controlling that. Yeah, so please relax it on the power. I don't know if he's gonna come good. Only time will tell. Right now, it's looking bad because we look bad. It's looking like a Sanchez regen, but we wait and see in it. However, yeah, he's a young buck. Obviously, he needs time to settle. The finish that he had on the weekend was quality. I'm here to tell everybody right now, we don't need to wait any longer. He's better than Werner. Better than Werner's ever been in his life. He's better than Johnson. Johnson's done nothing in his career to even warrant me giving him any sort of praise. I don't like the kid at all, period. And I'm here to
Surprised you
tell
called
you.
him Johnson today. I thought it was
I
Jason
know.
Derulo, isn't it?
He should be Jason Derulo, but I've been told that Jason Derulo gets views on TikTok, so Johnson doesn't. Can't call man, can't insult man that's getting views and another man isn't. So can't do the edit. But nah, this Tell kid, he looks like he. Do you know what? One thing I noticed in Tell's game, especially when he came on against Liverpool, he does that kind of like, yeah, punch the ball. Let me take one touch back into the midfielder. I'm going to spin off. That's a real strikers, like old school strikers kind of like mentality. Just pop, turn around the corner, get over. But unfortunately, he's in a team where that ball gets laid off. By the time he's run on to try and receive the ball, it's already gone back to the defense. So I don't know, man. I feel like we needed these signings, but they've come into a club that's been run by a man that was on 92 episodes of Home and Away. He doesn't know if he's coming or going, bruv. Like it's long over here.
True talk.
I mean, you know what? You made it very fair about that. Well, we'll move it on to Dej. Just to bring it down to you, what were your thoughts on the signing? Because I don't think we've actually spoke too much since then. But
Yeah.
do you think Danso improves our backline?
Yeah, bro. I actually do. What was so mad is that I didn't watch many of the Euros, but one of the games I did watch was France v Austria, and I kept thinking to myself, who is this Tarzan at the back that is just so angry right now that he's gonna hurt Mbappe? Next minute, someone's nose got broke, and Mbappe's nose by Danzo, and he just weren't having it. And to be honest, we need a bit of that. We need a bit of a wrestler, a bit of steel. One of the things, Ash, we've talked about is Spurs being a soft touch. I actually think Danzo's come in because Romero's leaving. And I think Danzo has the potential to be what Van Dijk is for Liverpool and for what Saliba is for Arsenal. It's hard to tell at the moment because of the way we're low on confidence than the way we're shaped up. But the physicality, the speed, aerial ability, just knocking people out. That's really what I want. That's what we thought we were getting in Dragusin. Do you get what I'm saying? But that's not. So for me, I think Danzo is a good look, and I think we done well with to get Tell. Tell is a baller. Again, I think off the left hand side through the middle, but with the way that Postecoglou has set us up, injuries or not, you're not seeing the best. But you can see that they're a step above what we have at the moment. They're a step above what we've been using for the last couple of weeks. So for me, I'm delighted with Danzo, and I'm delighted with Tell, and I just hope they go on to do what I think. But Danzo, for me, that's the big one that a lot of people are sleeping on. That one there, I think you'll all be impressed.
I suppose as the fellow Ghanaian, as you touched on very briefly, is Danso the guy that you think? Is he going to be a starter for Spurs going forward, do you think? Or you just like, let's see how it goes and sort of see how the season plays out?
I think it's just how it plays out, because I'm gonna be real. I don't know anything about Danso. I didn't even know it was Ghanaian until Broski said it, fam. So I don't know. I don't know how good he was. I don't know how good he is. I've just seen him against Liverpool. I didn't watch the Villa game because I needed to clear my head after that. You know what I'm saying, bro? I had to take a couple of days off. So I went to go see family, you know what I'm saying? Rediscover what it means to have a family, you know what I'm saying? After that demolition at Liverpool. So I can't really tell much about Danso until I hope he turns out to be a baller. Again, I didn't watch him at Bayern. I always just had the mentality of if he was that good of a player, he'd already be playing at Bayern. But again, they have so many wingers as well that could not be true as well. So I don't really have too much to go on when it comes to Danso or Tel. I just have to watch more of them and then make up my mind. But right now, Danso is probably our best centre back because everyone else is injured. And Tel is the only striker we have now because Richarlison's injured and Solanke's injured. So hopefully they can come in with a lot of game time that they're going to get and make a difference. So, yeah.
We just got to wish, we got to hope. But let's take it to Ash as our fellow scout, because he's the Spurs scout. Ashmatic analysis on Spurs Kings TV. If you guys haven't tuned in, again, make sure you do, because there's some proper good stuff over there. He's going to teach you about players that you've never heard of before. He's going to bring the stats, going to talk about the game, and he's going to go into some in-depth analysis. From what you've seen of Tel and Danso at Spurs and away from Spurs, do you think there's a high ceiling for them to go and to take us on further, or do you think they've got their limits?
Ash over Lange. Sorry.
No, listen, I think with Tel, I wasn't sure about his physicality, but so far so good. Like, I'll be honest with you, the problem I've got with Tel at the moment is when he's played out on the left, him and Son seem to kind of drift into the same positions. So I see him as a wide forward as opposed to a touchline winger, if that makes sense. And I know a lot of people are screaming for that. But yeah, him on the ball, very tidy. Obviously, the link-up play between him and Jed wasn't quite there, and that's understandable. They've never really played with each other before. They haven't had too much training sessions together either. So I can understand why there was a bit it was a bit disjointed, in my opinion. But yeah, you could tell the kid's got something about him, and he scored a nice goal when he was deployed up front. He got inside the right position, his movement was on point, finish was like he was there, like he's been doing it all day long. So the kid's got something about him. He's got potential, but it's just what's around him. It's just the service. You know, when he was at Munich, he had Musiala, you know what I'm saying, supplying him. You know what I'm saying? Then he's got Sane there.
Yeah,
he's got, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, the names just roll off your tongue, broski.
Yeah.
But you see at Tottenham, it's like, meh. You know what I mean? There's not too many brothers that can give him the food that he needs to eat with. So we do have a couple of them coming back. So hopefully, he could settle into the team, and I'll be interested to see how we deploy him. If we play him on the left or we decide to keep him up front, it's one to look out for. I want to see more of his link-up play and see how he thrives in the system. See if he can be physical enough to hold man off and like get in behind and do that. I don't think really that's his game, but again, these are things that he needs to work on, and the coaches, and I say coaches, they need to get the best out of him. Danso now, real quick, I like the look of him. He's physical, he's strong, hasn't got quick acceleration, but when he starts running and he gathers that momentum, he's faster than what we have at the moment. Do you know what I'm saying? We don't know how long Jed will be out. We just don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? I think it's an improvement on my man Dragusin, Enter the Dragon. I think it's an improvement on him. But he's just below the level of like a Romero. However, Romero, don't think he wants to be here, bro. I'm sure we're going to get into it, bro.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's below a Romero? Because often when we see Romero play, he's fortunate to have Van de Ven alongside him. And I can just see if Van de Ven was alongside Danso, I think he could do a solid job. It's very hard to tell when you've got Kinksky at the back. You've got bloody Pedro Porro that don't know his left from his right. You've got Archie Gray. Do you know what I mean? Like Jed Spencer's on the left-hand side. Like, is it either? It's hard to tell.
I hear it, bro. It's just, you know what it is? Man to man, pause, and then defending spaces. It's like I judge them slightly different. You get it? Like Romero, when he's ready, he steps into that midfield quick and early. He's proactive, like defender, and he goes and he wins that ball. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm kind of yet to see that from Danso, where he wins that ball high up and helps that number 6 out. Because I think that's what's missing at Spurs. And I think that's why we look so exposed in that middle. You see what I'm saying? When Romero's there, he's able to, it might be a foul, you know what I'm saying? But more time, he's intelligent enough to win that ball high up. And then he's able to pass through the lines and then through build up as well. When we're playing out from the back, he's able to help us. And that's why we look so useless at the back at the moment. When we're doing build up, I do hear what you're saying though, because Romero does have his bozo moments where he switches off, where he's not really looking or checking his mirrors. And him alongside Porro doesn't help. Do you know what I'm saying? Porro's just wandering in the forest doing his own thing. You know, I'm like, Porro, hey, where are you? Do you know what I'm saying? He's just going off cooking paellas. I don't know. I'm just saying, right, them two are like a recipe for disaster. So having Danzo there, it might be slightly different. He needs to, it's just the communication. I need to see talking a bit more. One thing I did see, just to finish up on his point, Ali Gold did say like he went around and was high-fiving the brothers, like, yo, like trying to encourage man and try to G-man up. And he can speak English. When I was watching the interview with him, he remember he used to play for MK in Southampton. So he's been about
He
he's
grew up
been
in
around there
Milton
for
He grew up here, man. He grew up here.
yeah, he grew up around there, innit? So he could talk, he knows the lingo. He might even be watching. So hold tight, you Dan. So our Ghanaian brothers, man. Get some pounded jam in there.
I think from what I saw of Danzo, he looks decent. He looks pretty good. Like Deji's pointed out, he looks really strong in the tackle. He looks confident. I think one of the biggest things that we don't have right now is experience. When you talk about dragging us down, Dragusin, like he's not experienced. He's the one we've been hearing from Archie Gray that he's been taking notes from him. But as soon as I heard that, I was concerned. I was like, if you're taking notes from him, then where are you gonna get any better? Because Dragusin don't know what he's doing. Don't be talking to him about how to better your game. Play next to Danso. Not that I think Archie Gray should be playing centre back, but if he is next to Danso at any point, I feel like he's actually got someone who's got experience, going to be talking to him, can lead him through the game and march him through some of these moments. And like you pointed out, Deji, I feel like we needed someone who's just a bit aggressive, someone who's going to just add that, that ruthless aggression, because we're too nice. We get told it far too often. We're too nice. We got Sonny leading us who cries after games when we lose. Like, I ain't here for all of that. I don't need to see none of that. And then I think one of the biggest things with Tell is he brings the winning mentality from Bayern. He knows what it is like. He's grown up through that Bayern Academy. He knows that you have to win, and anything but a league title is a failure. So I feel like even when he came on the pitch and you've seen him in the Aston Villa game, in the Liverpool game, he's pointing people around. He's not afraid to say, hey, do this. Like, he's going to be talking to the players and showing his experience. So I'm impressed with the signings in the brief moments that we have seen them. Do I think that they're going to take us on and lead us further? That's a bigger question, I suppose, because I don't think Tell's the player that we needed, and he wasn't the signing that's going to bridge the gap between us and, let's say, European football this season. But let's see if he can add a few goals here and there. It was a decent finish against Aston Villa. And then moving on into that, that's why I did want to know you guys' opinions.
I was going to say, why not? Why can't
Why
he do
not?
that? Because if you think about it, Postecoglou, as much as I'm vexed with him, and I know we're going to get into it, he's literally been playing with about 3 or 4 men on the pitch. Son has been non-existent.
Yeah.
Kulusevski on the right-hand side, you might as well not play him because he's non-existent on the right. He should be in the 10. Do you get me? Our midfielders, whoever the link, whoever it is, Bissouma, Bentancur, Saab, been rubbish. Bergwijn not good enough in my opinion. Archie Gray, for me, people keep shaking their bum for Archie Gray because he can do a job. He's doing a job, but it's not a great job. You get me? Jez Spence on the wrong side, So for me, Tell, if we just get 0.5 Tell, is better than what Son's been giving us so far this season. What I'm excited to see is the front three of Tell left, Solanke, and Odebear. I think that could be all right. Not enough for top 4, but definitely that could be good enough for top 8.
Well,
Can you imagine? Man's talking top 8.
Deji, just a quick question. You don't like Gray?
Bro, do you know what it is?
You ain't seen enough of him.
I'm an old school. I like killers. And when I see Archie Gray, I see a really lovely young man. He's been brought up right. He's very polite, well-mannered. You know what I'm saying? He's someone that, you could take your daughter. Do you know what I mean? If you're marrying Archie Gray, all right, fine. He's a lovely lad. But I want an Ethan Wenyeri. I want a Lewis Kelly, man. I just want killers. And them man don't start.
No, Deji, I'm starting to become concerned with things that you're saying recently, because recently I heard you glazing Arteta, and now I'm hearing Waneri come out of your mouth and scare.
Yeah, you had to pick two Arsenal. That's crazy.
Are you sure you weren't born on the other side?
No. Bun them guys. Bun the Red Tottenham. Bun the Spicy Spurs. Scots Bonnet FC. Red Hot Chili Peppers. Bun them. They will never, bro. Someone asked me the other day, would I go to an away game at the Emirates? I said, hell no. You won't even catch me at Highbury and Islington train station. I stay on the ground when I go past Highbury and Islington. You get what I'm saying? But the thing is, and it's not my fault, and it's not any of us' fault, I don't like seeing players out of position. So none of you have seen Archie Gray in his best position. So we actually don't know what he can do. What he has been, he's been a filler. Has he been effective? I don't know, because there's some goals that we've conceded that if he was a natural right back, if he was a natural centre back, he might have got there and blocked it. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a fan. So I can't give Gray any props. Like, I'm not giving. You might as well give me props. Do you get me? I can do what Werner does. I can run in a straight line. Does that mean I've done anything for my team, for my club? No.
Even so, Skelly's not a fullback either. He's a midfielder naturally as well. So he's playing out of position too.
True. That's true.
Yeah.
Good point.
You know,
Good point.
I do agree with you, Deji. It is about killers. If you were gonna have a number 6, I'm of the belief that there's no Roy Keanes in football nowadays. You need that kind of player. You know, somebody. I mean, Rodri's probably the closest in terms of like he'll do a nasty like breakup of play, not get a yellow card because it's Man City. You know, he'll do it like 15 times in a game, but he can also pass. You know, get things ticking. Spurs don't have that. Basuma. Listen, let me not even. Actually, no, I am gonna stop.
No, we're gonna speak on him. Go on.
No, Basuma, yeah, like I know it's a serious condition to have, yeah, but I don't care. It's clear as day that guy's still suffering from malaria because he's been absolutely useless. No. You man can't be laughing. It's a serious condition, yeah. Like it's serious. He's been suffering. I've never seen man fall apart. Benton Core. In all my life, I don't know what Benton Core did wrong. He done something mad, yeah, because I've never seen a man have an ACL injury, come back, get clapped by Cash, come back, have a flipping concussion, come back, have another concussion. He even concussed himself trying to head the ball. Do you know how hard that is to do?
No, that's a serious condition. We can't laugh at him, man.
There's something wrong there, yeah. So, and that's our 2 center midfielders. That's our 2 number 6s, yeah. Basuma is high on balloons. Yeah,
that's what I thought you were gonna say, Richard.
You know when I knew Basuma might not be, I knew it from time, but you know when I finally realized, no, this kid he's insane. Which game was it that he took out his hair and he had no trim? The hair was.
I know what you're talking about. There was a game this season. He just left it out, innit?
He just left it out. Man thought he was setting new precedent. I was like, nah, brother. You needed a barber at the stadium that day because this is nasty. I don't even know if we won. But what I would, yes, thank you, Rose on. He said Everton. It was the Everton game. We even lost. Imagine. No, I think we drew even.
I think that might have been the one he scored, you know, early in the season.
Yeah,
he scored that goal. He scored in the first half.
Yeah, see, but bruv, the hair was budge. I was like, nah, he's moving mad.
Shit, Everton scored.
Yeah, fantastic. 2-2.
That's what I'm about to check now. They actually did as well, bro. That's crazy.
They can't lose their final derby, bro. That's long.
Yeah,
that's
was
long.
Yeah, it's true.
But for me, like, I think one of the biggest problems in this current setup, and I know men are going to say the whole injury stuff, but honestly, Ange needs to look himself in the mirror. Yeah, because there's been some criminal activity done this season. Nasty.
Yeah. No, 100%. I think the decision making from Ange has been so questionable, and that's when I want to take it on to the actual games last week and how we went out of the cups. Because I suppose when you look at both games, they're a huge contrast in each other in the way that we approach the games, but the result was ultimately the same. He'd come out after the first game and said that he wasn't happy with the approach and the way that the team went about it. And then he went into that second game and we all saw what happened. I mean, I'll go to you first because obviously you only watched the Liverpool game. But talk to us about that Liverpool game. What did you see in that Liverpool game? And I suppose, how did you feel after the Liverpool game?
I saw a dreadful goalkeeper. That's the first thing I saw. in terms of actual analysis of the game, there wasn't much because it was pretty much the back four and Tell. That was pretty much what we had on the pitch, and give or take Kulu as well, because he was there. At least I saw him in it. Like Son didn't see him, didn't see the midfield. It was pretty much just Liverpool bypassing the midfield and defensive scrambling for 90 minutes, and we still conceded 4. Which, yeah, I can't lie, my head was gone. It was probably the biggest crash out I've had on YouTube so far, but it was necessary at that point because that was when our season was done in it. I had everything on that game. All my hopes and dreams were on that game, and these man just took it and ran. So
why? Why was your hopes and dreams on that game, bro? Why?
Yeah, why did you believe?
Why did you believe? My brother.
Because that's what Spurs do to you.
We went there with one goal. All we had to do for the first 30 minutes, yeah, we played a mid block and we went long. I was like, all right, cool. This is decent. This is a decent game plan. We were winning corners, winning a couple free kicks. As soon as Richarlison gets injured and comes off, we start trying to play out the back, bro. And then this bozo keeper gives it to the other bozo in midfield, and he does what he does best, and then we concede. And then it was just downhill from there, innit? Because we never looked like we were going to score in it. The best thing we could have done was maybe 1-0 to Liverpool, go to penalties kind of thing, innit? And I felt like we did okay in terms of breaking up the play, making sure Liverpool don't have sustained periods on the ball, whether it was when Davies cut his head or when Richarlison kept going down for fouls. I figured like, if we break it up, don't let Liverpool have 15, 20, 25 minutes of just pure attacking us. We could break up the game enough to where they can't sustain anything. We could get into halftime 0-0 and then see where we go. And then the bozos happened in it. So, yeah, at that point, I was just, I crashed out. But I don't have much tactical analysis on the game because my head was fried. I was gone.
Oh, I hear it. And to be fair, when I look at the game, I don't think there is much of a tactical analysis way to look at it. It was like men against boys. But Ash, just to bring it to you and how you broke it down, what did you think was, I suppose, the way that we approach? What was wrong with the way we approached the game for one?
Oh, listen, we thought we could copy and paste what we did with Brentford. That was the mistake right there. Do you know what I'm saying? Remember when Brentford played us, the way they were peppering us, the corners, the crosses were coming in. Do you know what I'm saying? We thought, all right, we're going to use that same analogy and play that against Liverpool, not knowing that, well, we knew the fans, but not knowing that, yeah, they've got actual killers. They've got players that can break through that midfield block that you're doing. Do you know what I'm saying? Or that low block or that defensive block. And yeah, literally, that's what happened. They just took us apart bit by bit. Like Gakpo had a bit of fun. Do you know what I'm saying? We did help them out a lot. Let's be real. Like, we helped them out a lot to get into that game. But again, like, we didn't do ourselves any favors. And it felt like Ange was like saying, see, I told you the high tempo, high pressing, high playing football, high line forever is the way to go. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, lost that game and obviously went into Villa. And I think you said it before, we tried both ways, bro. We tried both ways. And the same result. Do you know what I mean? The same result. I was like, yeah, I don't know. There's not much more to break down. It was just the players. Go on. No.
I just wanted to say, like, I don't know how you, as a manager, you can't psych up the players for a semi-final. For me, the game against Liverpool was reminiscent of the second half against Brighton, was reminiscent of our game against Crystal Palace, reminiscent of our game against Ipswich. There's been too many games where the boys haven't turned up. But what the big issue I'm having with Ange is that when you get this, you guys have played ball. Doesn't matter what tactics you have when the initial setup and structure is wrong. Now, for me, there was a couple of things. Personally, I don't want to see Archie Gray right back. I don't want to see him anywhere in the back line. So putting him in his unfamiliar position means that was already a weakness. I would have had Jed Spence and I would have had Reguilon. I don't know why he don't want to play Reguilon, but Reguilon is a left-sided wing back. He can do a job if you want to hold it down. The midfield, we've seen so far this season that every time we've gone with Basuma, Bentancur, and Sarr, it's never worked. Bergvall actually had a decent game in the previous leg. Why didn't he go with Bergvall in the 10? It needed someone with a bit. It just felt because he doesn't play with a 6. Them man were all lost at sea. No one really took up that position. Then the other one that I couldn't understand is why is he starting Son? Son has been washed all season, physically and mentally. So what was he going to do physically and mentally at one of the toughest grounds in the country? Nothing. So I would have gone with Tell. I would have gone with Richarlison. I would have gone with Mikey Moore. I would have gone with Bergwell. Just say, F it, let's see what one, let's go for it. But and that's part of the reason why it was just lumpy. It was lumpy.
Do you know what it is though, Dej? Don't you feel like when you go into games like that of high, like it's a big importance. It's going to be high intensity, but also it's a lot of pressure. I feel like you can't throw like a Mikey Moore in there just because if you're going to start him and then Mikey Moore drops a stinker for an hour, whose fault is it? Is that the managers for expecting a young player and throwing him in the deep end? Or is it the players for just not turning up? He's 17. I don't feel like the fans are going to get onto Mikey Moore's back and be like, oh, Mikey Moore had a rubbish game. He didn't turn up for us in the semi-final. No, you can't. Even if you are doing that, you're wronging. Let's have it right. Because at 17 years old, you can't expect him to do that much. But at the same time, the manager's leaning on his experienced players, which, to be fair, I didn't think Ange was wrong to do so. I thought starting Basuma, starting Son, and starting Kulusevski was Bentancur, in the middle. It made sense. From obviously, we all know these players have Boza moments. Basuma showed us yet again why we can't trust him. The same thing he done in the Arsenal game, he repeated and done again in the Liverpool game. He's shown us time and time again why we can't trust him. But you would think in these moments you can lean on your more experienced players to give you something. Do you not agree? Like, as much as we can call out Ange for his bad decision, do you not agree that was probably the right decision to do at the moment?
I mean, I'm going to let the others come in, but I'm just going to use this as my thing. Like, for me, I feel like Ange doesn't understand the squad that he has, and he's not creative. The answer is no, bro. Like, Son's been crap, bro. Archie Gray is not a defender. Like, these are the reasons why we were getting killed. At some points in the game, Archie Gray and Spence had to swap positions and then swap again and swap again. What are we doing? For me, you're right. Maybe Mikey Moore doesn't start. Then start Pedro Porro then. Put Pedro Porro on the wing, have Jed Spence behind him. Why not? Porro can't defend anyway. He can't. So let him go and attack. Like, show something. Like, I just think that Postecoglou is tactically inept. He's a one-trick pony. He has this idea. And the thing that is getting me mad now is he's moving like Archie Gray is his long-lost love child. Because this brother has to play. He would even have Archie Gray in goal if he could. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's pissing me off. And as for Kinski, his name is Stinksky. Do you get what I'm saying? That guy is rubbish. You get what I'm saying? So we've just got a load of hot men. Why isn't Brandon Austin playing? Because he ain't any worse than what I'm seeing with Stinksy.
I don't know.
Why ain't he playing?
I think the Brandon Austin stuff is very clear. If we're being honest, he's 25 years old. He's been in this club since he was like 8 or 9. They've obviously seen a lot of him, and no manager's even been convinced enough.
He said that about Spence.
We did, but Brandon Austin's no manager prior to, like, he could have got a call up under Conte, he could have got a call up under Mourinho, could have got a call up under Nuno. None of these managers looked twice at him, and they signed Joe Hart ahead of him. They signed Freda Forster ahead of him.
Sounds like Jed Spence to me.
Yeah. Oh wow!
I
think the bigger problem was there was no creativity whatsoever. Do you know what I mean? There was no creativity. So when he finally did bring on Bergvall, and he did eventually bring Porro on, Porro was able to create from deep. Bergvall was able to get on the ball, turn and run with it, and that was what was missing in that first half. And I think he went, as I said, copy and paste what he did at Brentford. He went defensive, and it backfired. And like, think about it, Kulusevski was the only out ball because Richarlison, he got the ball, he fell over. Or as you would say it, Richard got the ball, that Peruvian player, he got it, he fell on the floor all the time. So it's not really going to be a threat to Liverpool. Every time we had a chance to get up the pitch, we're not doing anything with it. And that was part of the problem, I felt, especially in that first half. Second half, we came on, we tried to be more expansive, more open. And as we did, you know, the space was in behind, and that's when we got even more hurt. Do you know what I'm saying? And it was the same thing against Villa as well. Anytime we try to attack the teams, we leave the spaces in behind, and teams just they literally take advantage, bro. That's what it was for me.
Yeah.
So that means most of the problem is at fault then. How format, how we set us up is the reason why we got lamped. Because I actually think we could have got a result. Yeah,
a question I want to throw out to the panel. Just what are the two games hurt you guys most? The Carabao Cup defeat or the Aston Villa defeat?
Both.
Yeah,
I know both. I want to know which one was worse. Because then that would tell me which one you guys had more belief in.
You know what's funny? Yeah, people will say, "Oh, probably the Liverpool game was worse because of the result," and I'm like, no, because I feel like a lot of people expected Liverpool to do what they did to us. Like once the first goal went in, I don't think anybody believed, oh, Spurs can get back into this. The one that really, really hurt, if man, I'm being brutally honest, is Aston Villa, because even though the game was 2-1, it could have been murder. Them man had free reign of our midfield. They were running through that. You know what? Let me not even finish the sentence that I was going to say, because it's going to be left. Yeah, but they were running through our flipping midfield like a flip it now. You know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to be...
hold me back.
I'm going to be nice with it, yeah? But it worked nice, yeah? Because if you think about it, you got to realize it. Sky Sports, or Sky Go, should I say, works on a 30-second delay. If you're watching on streams, you might be up to date. So that means half of the fans, that weren't at the stadium or were watching on their phones and stuff like that, hadn't even settled in to their cup of tea until they saw a goal alert. And I know every Spurs fan were praying, thinking, "Oh, please let it be us." Nope, it was Rodgers. But what makes it worse is for those that were 30 seconds behind, when they finally saw the goal go in. It's like you even knew it was just going to get worse. It was so nasty. My whole thing was this. I couldn't believe that. All right, I've seen some bad Spurs teams in my life, but I don't think I've seen a Spurs team that I consider to be decent enough perform at this level so badly, so consistently. We're talking about professionals here. We're talking about them that get paid. There is nobody in that starting lineup that gets paid less than 30K, maybe Berger, probably less than 20K a week. Yeah, man are getting paid to play the sport that all us fans like. But what I saw man do, I've seen people do it at Hackney Marshes. I've seen man do it at Farm. I've seen man do it at Big Pitch in Ferry Lane. I've seen man do it at Info Playing Fields. Pakistan, you mean to tell me one man got the ball in the center of the pitch? And if you think I'm lying, go check the stills. Man ran through the middle, and there's four Spurs players chasing him. Not a single one got close to him. Not one. Yeah, a bunch of facios, and it's so painful that I have to sit here as a Spurs fan and hear man bantering my club saying, "Oh, it's the history of the club. Oh, it's Spursy." Like, bro, flipping hell, man. Like, really? Like, is there no shame from the board members, the manager, the players? You know, a couple of weeks ago, when I can't remember what game it was, we won a game. I can't remember what. I think it might have even been the Liverpool game. It might have not been, but we won a game, and the players were like, "Yeah, we're just proud of the result. We're hopefully, putting smiles back on the fans, trying to make them proud of us." Proud of what, bro? We've seen our team have 13 defeats before the middle of January. What do you think one victory is going to do for us, man? Are you all right? Like, I don't understand this. Like, I don't get, and this is what I mean. We got 3 men that are captains or leaders in our squad. You got Romero, he doesn't want to be here because, Messi's had a word with him and said, bruv, you can come play for Barcelona at any time. So his head's gone. He's not involved. You got flipping Maddison. I'm here to tell everybody this. All of that, Jenga and outside of the boot stuff is cute, isn't it, when it comes off? But that 40 million, it hasn't looked good. It hasn't looked good at all. It hasn't looked good enough. Like, what we've got in return for 40 million is poor. But the guy that's pissed me off the most is Rigobert Son, because that brother there, he's the biggest fascio. And I've told Jords this. I've said it on the NFL pod. I've said it to the world. I knew there was something wrong with Son when his own father said he ain't it. The man that the half your seed comes from this man, and he doesn't believe in you. Your own father doesn't believe in you. So why should I believe in you? Man is our captain. So when all of these players are like struggling on a pitch and they're like, oh, we need a leader, and they turn to Son and they look at him like this, what are we gonna do? And he turns around crying, just tears streaming from his face. I don't know what to do. I've got nothing for you, lads. This is who we're turning to as our captain. Other teams have had, and I'm going off teams of the past. Arsenal have had Vieira, Tony Adams. United have had flipping Rio Ferdinand. Yeah, you know, if you want to consider him to be a tough captain, but they've had Roy Keane. Even if you go with captains nowadays, your captain can do something. You know, he can turn it up. Like he can actually. I don't want to hear Son's burnout. I don't want to hear that nonsense. Yeah, I know people are coming with his burnout, bruv. He missed 7 games this season. I hope people don't actually realize this. You know, in the beginning of the season, he got injured and missed a good portion of the start of the season. So I'm not trying to hear he's burnout, and he's been rested. If you go and check all our lineups, he hasn't started. The one player I will allow the burnout talk to come from, or two, and Deji's right, is Archie, because he's been used everywhere. He's been hoarded out. Like he needs to go to HR because he's been used incorrectly. And Kulusevski's played. I know man are gonna say Porro. I've said it before. Porro
doesn't look burnt out. He's got energy. It's just all over.
Porro is without a shadow of a doubt the
Mentally.
most infuriating fullback I've ever seen in my life, because I don't understand this. You can't defend to a level that you're competent enough. The manager plays you because I guess, you know, you've got long ball deliveries and, you know, you can put a ball on the plate, a good cross and all that kind of stuff. But when we were chasing the game, instead of playing you further up the pitch, right wing, he decides to play Jed Spence, right wing, and keep you, the man that don't check his mirrors, back in defense.
My head was gone when he did that. My head was gone.
He deserves to lose his job. He deserves to lose his job. He's a pussy.
Deji, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah? I've seen a lot of people put on Twitter, you know, that they wanna protest and stuff like that. Let me tell you something about our fans. Yeah, I've seen 4 protests from Spurs fans in my lifetime, and all of them were just 4-man singing, a banner that was no longer than a fence, and Bear Man buying hot dogs and talking about the good old days. That's what all 4 of those protests were. Man United fans, to put in perspective what a real protest looks like, Man United fans they've been pissed off by the Glazers so much, they broke into their own stadium and had a penalty shootout. That's the level of madness Spurs fans have to reach. You know, the only reason why Daniel Levy is now spending money in January and trying to like move players, because he heard Spurs fans cuss him in front of his missus. His missus put her hand on his thigh. He was like, "Don't worry about it. They don't mean it about you." No, Daniel, we mean it. We hate your guts. I've seen the reports come out today saying, "Oh, you know, there might be investment, and they want to keep Daniel on." I know why Daniel wants to stay. I know why he wants to stay. He wants to stay because if Spurs turn any of this around and become successful, you know who's going to want to take the plaudits? Daniel Bloodfire Levy.
Of course, bro.
And I'm here to tell everybody right here and then, the day Spurs turn it around and become something special, the day I see Daniel Levy lift his hands up and say, "Yeah, I did this," that will be the day I finally get a lifetime stadium ban, because I'm going for it. I'll throw my juice, I'll spit at man. I will make sure I'm no longer in that stadium ever again, because what he's done in 24 years to this club is egregious. It's gross negligence, beyond belief. You've never sacked any other manager has never received this treatment. Never. You know, this season we've had 16 defeats in all competition.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, bro.
In 33 games. We've lost.
I saw Owen sending a stat saying something like, we've had more hamstring injuries than home wins this season, bro.
No, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that.
I said that's apparently a stat, bro.
Don't do that. That's not.
Hey, that's
That's
wild, bro.
That's not.
Crazy.
We need to understand, yeah. The thing is, we've got a team. When you look at our team and you take out like the starting 11, like legitimately take out the starting 11, it's a bunch of under 21s. They don't have enough experience for this. Like they genuinely, they might be potential and they might have like loads of like talent, but they don't have the experience. This is not. If you want to raise a bunch of 21s and see how they send them to France. I know people don't like hearing that, but send them to France. That's the league that has, youngsters developing and all that. Send them there. Don't the Premier League where a grown man will just mash works on you. Did you see what Brentford did? I'm surprised they didn't beat us. They were mashing works across the whole back line. And yeah, all right, cool. We got away with it. Man, such is life. All I'm saying is this. For those fans that don't believe or think, the next game Ange loses, he's gone. Be prepared. He's staying to the end of the season.
Oh, most definitely.
Most
definitely. He won't be going nowhere. And I suppose getting on to that, just to confirm, because we did have a question in the chat earlier from the Right Show. Big up to Right, man. And is everyone Ange out on the panel? Just to confirm. I believe everyone is, but I know yours.
Yeah.
Say aye. Say aye. Aye.
All right, no, that is a confirmation. But all right, so I did have a question out there because I suppose we all know Ange's probably going to stay to the end of the season. But let's just live in a world where he potentially doesn't stay to the end of the season. He might have a few bad losses. Let me throw a few names out there. These are realistic names because we all have certain managers that we would love to bring in. But just to keep it realistic as to what we could potentially do this season, Thomas Frank, Eden Terzic, Seb Honus, Kieran McKenna. Do any of you guys accept any one of these managers over Ange at this moment in time, even if it was, let's just say, an 18-month deal or something like that? Would you guys look at any of those?
No.
So you'd rather this with Ange for the end of the season?
I don't know this thing about Thomas Frank and this crap. The person that we need, you got to look at the success. We were successful under Pochettino. Granted, we didn't win any trophies. People will lambast me on that. But the truth is, we became a respectable club under Poch. Someone who was able to work within the fabric that is Daniel Levy. There's only one manager that I see in the league that can work within this chaos, and that's Areola. This bollocks that Areola wouldn't come to Spurs is a load of hogwash. You've been offered the opportunity. He was at Rayo Vallecano, did this sort of job. He's at Bournemouth. Are you telling me that this brother doesn't want to show the world that he's legit? Look how Tottenham literally changed Pochettino's life. Yeah? He was at Southampton before us. All of a sudden, he became one of the top managers in the world. Areola, if Tottenham say come now, he comes. Do you think he even comes if Bournemouth make Champions League? He'll still leave. You know what I'm saying? Because he's looking long term. Yes, we got Champions League, but we ain't got the resources.
Do you actually believe that, Deji?
Huh?
Do you actually believe
Areola will come in a heartbeat, bro. It's the media that keeps saying he won't come. Why would he come? Why not?
I generally don't think he will come. Look, I look
think
at it like
pay the money.
Why wouldn't he come?
I know money talks, but let's be honest.
Of course it is.
All these
money and rep. If Areola gets the Spurs job and he gets Tottenham top 4, we win something under him, this brother can go to Real Madrid next. You got to look at the trajectory, bro.
Areola. I'm thinking of something else. Iraola.
It's a win-win. I ain't gonna lie, it's a win-win. I'm sure every manager's looking at this job here. Like no manager can save this. So let's say he does come in, and it doesn't work out. Bro, every manager in the world knows that this ain't a place where you win in it. So I don't even think he'd get much blame. I feel like he tried, you know what I'm saying, but he's not a miracle worker. And he'll just move on to the next job if it don't work out. I don't think it's gonna kill his career. I don't think anything like that is gonna happen if he comes to Spurs. And it's a step up from Bournemouth, and we'll pay him more money. So I feel like he'll if we offer him the job and better players, I feel like he would come if we offer him the money. It's just if we're stingy with him, he might take it as a disrespect kind of thing. But I don't know the man personally in it. But offer him the wages he wants, better club, bigger club. It's not really on him. No one's gonna blame him if the team don't do well.
Mm.
Bro, it's a win-win for him. He might as well.
Wait. Before we go back into this kind of coaches conversation, does anyone look at the next 3 games as winnable? Man United, Ipswich, Man City.
Yeah.
There's only I actually said that. I'm just putting it out there because we might as well. I see Tottenham winning 1 game from now to the end of the season, and that's this Sunday. After that, I don't see how we win.
I do agree regarding winning this Sunday. I do actually think that we're gonna go there and slap up Manchester Red. I just.
You mean they're coming to us?
Oh yeah, they're coming to us.
Yeah, we've already been.
That does give me a bit. Our home record's horrible. They'll probably go.
What I'm saying is, like, do you think if we're getting the players back, and then the manager obviously he's got a win under his belt, and he does this, you know, he does that. He does that. The one arm up like that, and he does.
No, punch him up.
We were losing with our full squad anyway. But bro, I'm gonna be real. I'm not too entitled. I'm not too privileged to think that Spurs can't go down, bro. Like legit, we need if 40 points is what you need to survive. Tottenham, at the rate we're going, we're not getting 40 points. The only thing that's gonna save us is the fact that the 3 teams below us are so dusty that's why we were saved. I'm not sure we beat Southampton. Legitly, I only think we beat Piccadilly this weekend. We banged them because they're just as bad. And then after that,
you think City beat us? Yeah? You think City beat us?
City?
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm asking. Do you think Man City beat us?
They'll whack us, not beat. Whack up. We're getting whacked.
Yeah.
Be ready. We're getting whacked. There's
a lot of things that made us good against City before. We don't have it now. So
the one thing with that City game, Ash, it does fall on the week where I think the Europa League returns. That's the thing. So depending on where the squad is at.
Is the game before or after the Europa League?
I think it's after. I've got to finish this after because I know the next week is the Ipswich week, and then the week after, I'm pretty sure Europa. It might be that week.
Aren't we getting players back? Like, for example, like
we've got Vicario.
Because remember how many mistakes Kinski made? Like he made in every game, he's made like a howler. I'm saying.
Yeah, this week is apparently confirmed that Dogi, Vicario, Odegaard, Maddison, and I feel like there's another name, but those 4 definitely due back this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Vicario comes back in, that those mistakes aren't there, they're cut out, for example. Yeah. And then we get like Doggy on a left wing back or left back, sorry. And then we could potentially play Jed Spence on the right back. So we haven't got the issue of Porro. Do you understand? So then all of a sudden,
Porro, I'm letting you know now, Porro's starting.
Yeah. And you know, the maddest thing, can I just tell you this? The maddest thing is that our manager, and this is why he needs to get on Qantas tomorrow, is that he said Jed Spence is playing until Udogie comes back. Is he mad? Udogie's been.
I do think, like, as much as I'm on Ange, like, pause. Yeah. I do think that those. I'm onto him. That's what
That's crazy, bro.
Those comments, I do think were taken out of context. I think that he meant that he's going to be playing left back until Udogie comes back, rightfully so, and then he's going to be challenging for his place.
So how do you feel about
need to be challenging? He should be starting right back.
He should be starting, bro.
He should be the starting right back. There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that. I think he should be the starting right back. But I think it's one of those things. He clearly likes what, like you pointed out, he likes what Porro brings to the game. I think that Porro kills us with the amount of time that he grenade launches the ball into the middle of the field. He's always trying to punch it through the lines when it's not needed.
He likes what Porro brings to the game. I've said this multiple times. I've heard Spurs fans say, "Oh, yeah, you cuss Porro's defensive deficiencies, but what about Trent? Trent's offensive ability is so damn high. Liverpool can take that risk. Porro's is not that high. We're not looking at Porro and thinking, raw, this brother, that ball's on a sixpence. Like we're not looking at him thinking, don't give him time on the ball. We're more like, okay, yeah, that was a good ball. Whenever he has time on the ball, that's how we're reacting. We're not like teams are not looking at Porro like, yeah, don't let him have time on the ball. They're not afraid of him. They're not afraid of his offensive capability. So you can't be saying, oh, what about Trent? Porro is horrid. How bad he is defensively And the issues he
Big up
gives,
to Ash, man. We're gonna be heading over there
Because,
after Spurs Kings TV, but big up.
the issue Porro gives defensively, yeah, especially with the right side of centre back, doesn't allow you to like accept what he does on the offensive side. It's not good enough. It's just not good enough. It's not high enough of an efficiency. So you need somebody who at least can defend decent and at least can attack decent. And the only player outside of Destiny, I guess, on the right hand side that can do that is Jed. He like I've seen enough to say no. He should definitely be the starting right back.
Yeah.
And if, at the very least, if you're so desperate to use Porro and get him into the game, play him as your right winger. Like honestly,
Yeah.
No doubt. I think we. Do you know what it is? Yeah, as we saw with Spence, I feel like he has to start just with even that little performance when he was on right wing. You see, going forward, I feel like he makes up for how decent Pedro Porro can be going forward. Spence is just as good. He just isn't going to be able to pass it through the lines as good. But when you're talking about driving up the pitch, Spence covers ground like no one else. Defensively, aggressive. He doesn't. I think out of all of our defenders, he's been the player that's been taken on the least successfully. And we've seen how he locked up Salah a couple of times. So with Spence, there's no doubt he should start. I think it's just a question of whether Ange is going to or not. But just back to the question with regards to managers. Obviously, you made it clear, Deji, you want Areola. You had to say make me say Areola. Yao and E. Who are you guys then? Who do you want to bring in? Because obviously you don't want Ange. Is there a manager you want to bring in, or you just like whoever it is, just not Ange?
I agree. Areola is the probably the best suited one in terms of what I've seen with what he's done at Bournemouth. Before we got Ange, and I don't know how I do know how we flopped this because it's Daniel Levy. I was all for Julian Nagelsmann. That's who I wanted. If you're gonna build a project and build something from the ground up, that's the manager that I wanted. That's the coach that I wanted. And we fluffed that. And then my second was I had three. So I had Nagelsmann, I had Slot. Obviously, he's gone to Liverpool, and then I had I forgot his name now, but he was at River Plate.
Mark, is it not Gasparini?
Gasparini, I forgot his name.
I know exactly who you're talking about,
Yeah.
though. He was like the hot topic 2 years ago. Everyone was loving him.
Gallardo,
Gallardo,
that was my top three. Yeah, and so for me, it was like, okay, we were in talks with Nagelsmann. It looked like things were going like positive, and like the Tell deal, we fluffed it. Somebody cried in the meeting and put man off. It's nonsense. So I'm all listen. Do you know what's annoying about Spurs, especially how we're run? They finished the season. We finished 8th. Conte had gone. They said, "Look, we want to bring back the Spurs, and all that jazz, talking a bunch of nonsense." They told us it was going to be a project. Well, if you're going to do a project rebuild and all that kind of stuff with young ballers and all that kind of stuff, why would you then go and get a 59-year-old manager? It didn't make sense. Ange is 4 years away from retirement in England, and that's who we got as our manager. So I can't wait to see that. I don't care what happens towards now and the end of the season. I don't care if he ends on a high. I don't believe he's going to end on a high, but I don't care if he ends on a high. I want him gone. I want his papers handed to him the same way Harry Redknapp had his papers handed to him when he was driving out and Sky Sports were talking to him. You looking forward to the summer transfer window, and then that same flipping afternoon, he found out just as he got home he'd been sacked. That's what I want to happen to Ange. Nonsense. I've got no time for it.
I hear it. I do hear it. Honestly, I do hear it. E, what's your thoughts on that then? Is there a manager out there for you, or
I think
you
I said
seem
it
like
on,
you just want anyone but Ange?
Yeah, it's not even that. It's just like I think I said this on the calling show, and it's like if it's not Tottenham, I don't go out my way to watch other managers and other teams unless the game looks interesting, innit? So I don't know. Like I feel like not my job in it, but like me as a fan in it, like I support Tottenham. I will watch Tottenham games whether I want to or I don't want to, and I feel like it's up to me to look at what we have and determine if is it good enough. Is the manager good enough? Are the players good enough? Are the board doing the right things? And I'm just looking at Ange like he's not doing good enough for me to warrant him being here. look at certain players, the players aren't doing well enough to warrant them being here. So in terms of managers that can come in, to be honest, I don't know. I'm not going to be around here and acting like I know the manager to come in. Obviously, I've heard I say Areola sometimes too, and I fuck it up. But Bournemouth man like the guy down south in it. That's what I call him. But
Yeah.
I've seen him, and I've seen Jacob louder thing, louder eye, bro. But
You said the
I've
man
seen-
down south. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's wild, dude. Pardon me.
okay. I mean,
wild.
south of England, innit? I know you wouldn't know that because you know what I'm saying. You're watching the Dallas Mavericks die, but hey,
Bro,
we'll
can
talk
I
about the
just
NBA
go
another
like
time.
one day without people mentioning the Dallas Mavericks? Golly.
Hey,
No,
don't
you
try and
can't,
catch me
because
up. Don't try and
Spurs
chief me
are
up.
the
You know what I'm
Dallas
saying?
Mavericks of English football, so you can't. We're literally the Dallas Mavericks. We would
You can't
sell
catch a
Kane,
break.
sell
No.
Son.
Dallas Mavericks
Nah.
won in 2011. We had
They
Dirk
won in
Nowitzki to
2011.
go.
We're like
we
that
won
in
in
the Hawks,
2008.
bro.
So,
They're
no
more like
difference.
the New York Knicks, who've not been relevant since the 70s.
Yeah, actually, that's true.
Probably, yeah, probably the Knicks or the Hawks or something like that. Just a mid team, a team that's always mid.
Nonsense.
But, yeah, I don't know any managers. I just look at what we have here and determine are they good enough or not. If they're not good enough, they have to go, and we bring the next one in, and then I'll judge the next one. If he's not good enough, get him gone, bring in the next one. I don't get attached to these managers and these players because they're employees, innit? I love the club. Andrew will be gone, and there's someone else that will come in. Son will be gone, someone else will come in. Harry Kane left, someone came in. Bale left, someone came in. Like, I love the club. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get too attached to a manager or to players. If they're not good enough, they got to go. It's that simple.
I hear you. Can I ask a question to the panel though? Like, is anyone else concerned about the fact that we might not be in the Prem next season? And a lot of people might say, "Oh, Dej,
Nah, bro, we're good.
it's static, rare." But
I'm
the truth
concerned.
is, man, if we lose to United this weekend, it's long for us.
Look, let me.
Like,
I'll get.
So
really
mathematically, real quick, if I could jump in, mathematically, Deji, we could lose 9 of our next league games as long as we win 5. We get 41 points, so we'll be
We're not
okay.
winning 5.
I think you just have to look at it like this.
We need 5 out of the 14.
Leicester are 10 points behind us right now. For Leicester to catch us up, they're gonna have a 3 or 4 win swing on top of us. I don't see Leicester winning 4 more games than what we do. That's where the problem is. They've only won 4 games all season. So even if we do, with your theory, Deji, win 2 games, that means Leicester is still going to have to double their tally and win another 3 or 4 to then go above us. So I think relegation, if we are being honest, like relegation's off the cards, just simply due to how bad the other teams are, not because Spurs are too good to get relegated. I think that's the point. But you do make a good point because currently we're level on points with West Ham, we're level on points with Everton, so we are hanging around bottom half of the table. Like we're very close to that relegation zone. So there's no doubt about that we could go down. But let me just briefly get Jacob's thoughts on, because we don't know. I don't know if Jacob's still on the side of Ange. Is he Ange in? Is he Ange out?
He left Ange a long time ago, man.
Nah, here's my thing with Love and with Ange. You can run, baby, but it's inevitable. All right, Ange is inevitable. Love is
And he tried
inevitable.
side-eye me, you know. Crazy.
Elijah out here talking about, oh, I love the club. I love the club, but I've got such a big heart and so much love to give. I love Ange. I love the players. I don't love Kane anymore. It took me a minute, but you know, it's one of them things where I'm always gonna, you know, just be enjoying the club, supporting the club, and believing. Like, I don't wake up before any match and think, oh, we're getting piped today. Because if I woke up with that kind of mentality, like, what's the point of waking up, bro? You're waking up a loser, in my opinion. I don't wake up and think, oh, woe was me because of X, Y, and Z, or because Levy, or because Ange, or because I don't subscribe to any of that. For me, we could still win Europa. Now, I will say it was a punch right in the dickle that we got knocked out of 2 cups in 4 days. That's kind of crazy and slightly unacceptable. However, he got us further in a cup competition than Conte did. He also, you know, is working with bare bones. You could say he helped get the meat off that bone pause, but you know, he is a problem. But I think a lot of people often forget that this guy was our 4th, 5th choice. We got denied 3-4 times by Eredivisie, by unemployed, by somebody, I can't remember where he ended up going. But we get denied a lot. So this notion that we're just gonna, hey baby, you want me? It's 100% no at this juncture. for Tottenham Hotspur because, like, for me, I sympathize with the plight that Ange is somehow this always ruining the club. Like, I mean, I've talked to people who've been here when we actually did get relegated, and some of them will say, "Yeah, this is worse than that." Some will say it's not worse. It's all relative, right? How much patience do you have? How much pain tolerance can you take? I'm not into BDSM, but apparently I could take a whole bunch of pain right now because it's been tough out here. It's been real tough for motherfuckers. Like, I wouldn't say I've been making a satirical joke that I'm not Ange in or Ange out. I'm Ange. What's up, dude? What's up, my G? That's all I got.
I ain't gonna
I
lie,
don't got
like,
anything
Jacob,
else.
I wanted to let you go off, bro, but the audio is crazy, bro, the whole time. I'm gonna be real.
Is it really?
I'm gonna be the
we
one to
can
say
hear
it,
you. I
bro.
think there's just
We-
something in the background, like some.
It's like it
alien
just
kind of
keeps staticking
communicating.
or something. I wanted you to get your shit off in it, but
Well, we
at
did
the
hear
same
you very
time-
clearly. Very.
yeah, we know what you said in it, but it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah,
Well, hopefully you
bro,
don't know
the
what I
chat,
said.
the chat was making beats and shit. Yo, it was long, and the chat was going crazy. So,
I'll disconnect. I'll try and reconnect when I get home.
No,
all right, all
that's
good, man,
sweet.
all good.
That's sweet. But I suppose just whilst we got everyone here, did everyone hear the news about potential new ownership? Qataris,
I've
they're
heard, yeah.
interested. I don't know what you guys think. Apparently, this could just be PR, off the back of the news with regards to the protest that's going to be happening this weekend on Sunday. The Qatari news has come out again that apparently they're interested in buying a stake in Spurs, but in buying a stake in Spurs, Daniel Levy will still be the chairman through a phased buyout where they buy more and more of a percentage over the years. What do you guys think about that? Qatari ownership with Daniel Levy still involved. Do you think much changes?
To be honest, I find it extremely strange that everyone seems to have had an investment before Spurs. Like, really, when you're looking at it from a business perspective, Tottenham makes a lot of sense. Do you get what I'm saying? In terms of it's a big club with the potential to do something. Could you imagine anyone buying Spurs and then we go on to win the league? They're legends. Do you know what I'm saying? So I welcome the investment. I welcome whether it be from El Chapo, whether it be from the Qataris. I don't give a damn. We just need some peas coming into our club so we can pay better wages and bring
But
in
not P Diddy though.
players. What I don't want though is this Daniel Levy thing. This Daniel Levy. The problem with Daniel Levy is that it's his ego. I know some guys who worked with Daniel when we were getting the stadium rebuild, and it really is all about him. He lives up to this hype of, I'm a tough negotiator, I'm this and I'm that, and he's doing that to the detriment of our club. Do you know what I'm saying? So I would like someone who's more humble, somebody who wants to come through, somebody who wants to actually dig deep into the pocket, and really invest in our team in a meaningful way. It does feel like the investment this January, although I give him the plaudits, it feels very reactionary. Had he not brought in Tell and Danzo, do you know what I mean? They would have been punching in the stands. So, do you know what I mean? So that's where I am with it. But I will welcome any investment from anybody, legal or illegal.
No, I am with it. I'm definitely with it. Yeah, what do you think of that? Do you think just it's PR stuff, rubbish?
It could be PR stuff, but they've been speaking about it for 2 years. I'm of the belief that they are actually looking for investment. I know Daniel Levy wants to stay on, as I said before, because he wants to reap the benefits. But at the same time, I think from what I've read, they want to keep him on for what he offers on the business side of things.
Yeah.
Can't sit here and deny, where he's taken Spurs in terms of like a brand. But we don't give a damn about the brand. We care about what happens on that green grass. And that's the problem. So I'm all for the investment. I have a feeling it's got something to do with the lady that was at Newcastle. Yeah, that's it. So I have a feeling that she's got like a big say in this and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting. But whoever comes into our club, please, for the love of God, don't do to our club what Sir Jim Ratcliffe is doing to United. Don't be sacking people, laying people off. Like, don't, brother, we just come and spend some peace, please. Like, honestly, like we've got no time for it. Like, I don't understand how, today, yeah, they released this information about the whole, Qatari interest and all that kind of stuff on the same day that Beyonce, Rayma, and Kendrick tickets went live. This club is bathing, yeah, sold out tickets.
PR specialist, man.
Yeah, sold out tickets, and these men are talking about we're looking for investment. They're talking about building hotels. I'm like, what's going on here, bro? I don't mind all of this stuff so long as it goes back into people. I think what it is, some of our fans want our club to spend like 80, 100 million on the best players and stuff like that. I'm not even interested in all of that. Just build a team that can compete, and over time, silverware will come. Don't do what you did with Poch, where it was a case of like, all right, cool. He built a team, and then we've reached a height. So you're gonna go 18 months without signing a player. Don't do that. So just come in, spend peas, make us happy again.
No, I agree. I think the club's focuses have been all in the wrong places. And it's like when you mentioned there about the tickets and Beyonce. It's funny because I saw the quote today from Donna Cullen. I don't know if people saw. She mentioned Beyonce was the tipping point. It was the tipping point of how the Spurs have been able to attract the big stars, attract some of the big concerts, and how we've reached the commercial heights to where we can do the boxing, the rugby, the NFL. And it's like everything is wrong with Spurs because our board of directors are so focused on everything outside of what is actually going on that green pitch. Everything that goes on that pitch, they're just so focused elsewhere. But just to take it to you, get your opinion. What's your thoughts on this potential change?
It just depends on the contract they give to Daniel Levy and how long he stays here. Like, if the contract for Levy to stay is purely business, then I don't really mind in it. Because as much as Levy is a bastard in it, he's a Voldemort. He has spent money at times in it, but then it will go to the profiling of players, which is landed them, man, in terms of who they've brought in. So I just need Levy to just kindly just stay away from the football, please. Like, if you want to do a business thing, go ahead. But hopefully, if we do bring in new owners or who will buy some shares, hopefully they'll actually get. She might be better than Brendan Johnson, fam. I can't lie.
In the hole.
Say that again. Nah, that's crazy.
Yo,
that's crazy.
I can't lie. The fact that they're auctioning black people to perform, it's like the 1500s level again, but nevertheless, moving swiftly onwards. Oh, as long as these men can just keep Daniel Levy away from the football and be like, yo, we're going to employ some people that actually know what they're doing to come and take care of the football inside of it, then I don't mind in it, because Levy is a great businessman. He's always been A++ when it comes to the business side and all of that stuff. It's just the football where he's trying to implement himself, and we all know this, and this is why we don't like him. So as long as the contract stipulation, it has to be in bold capital letters, stay the fuck away from the football, please. Actually, scratch the please. Just have a full stop there or an exclamation mark. However you want to make your point. I'll be fine with it then, innit? That's only mine. That's all I gotta say about the Qatari stuff.
And just whilst we're on the ownership talk, because obviously we have the protests going on this weekend, change for Tottenham. For anyone that wants to get involved, go head over to their Twitter and stuff. They have all the details. What do you guys think of the protests in general? Because I know obviously you mentioned before, yeah, like I'm in agreement with you. I think all the protests prior to what this could potentially be. This one actually looks like it's a lot more organized. It looks like it's actually been planned for a few months. They've took the time out to speak to people, communicate it in a proper way, have actual good people running it rather than some of these jokers online that don't really know what they're talking about. What do you guys think of the process? Do you think that it's something that we should go ahead? Do you think it's a good, I suppose, for a good cause? Because I suppose the change of Tottenham is not necessarily get Levy out, get these owners out. It's more make Tottenham better, like MCSA, make Tottenham great again. You know, one of them ones. So go on, Dej.
McDonald.
Yeah, if I felt that our fan base was legit, and my bro here, my learned friend, he said it right. When you go down to the stadium, I think the last one was when I went to see Spurs Liverpool. They planned the protest and 50 man turned up. The Tottenham fan base don't have the stomach to do a protest, bro. They don't have we were meant to have 5,000 Levy out balloons in the stadium. There was like 50. Do you know what I'm saying? So, and there are Tottenham fans waiting on waiting lists, ready to take man's spot. So the truth is, we're just wasting our time. We're not United. We're not Arsenal. We're not ready to. I'm not advocating for blocking up lampposts and stuff, but they're not edgy. The Tottenham fans, they're quite chilled. We are quite a blessed fan base. That's why I even go as far as to say Daniel Levy ain't a businessman. What he's doing is not special. When you've got a loyal fan base, the way that our we would be, Tottenham Hotspur will sell out playing bloody Colchester in League Two. That's the fan base that we have. There's no protesting with our feet. So for me, we'll be wasting our time. I'll be at the game this weekend. If there's a protest, I'll be there. But if there's only 50 man, what's the point? Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, for me, there's no point in it. I don't think there's going to be enough noise to move Daniel Levy, to move the dial. But I think it's a good gesture. It's nice to know that people want to do that, but I don't think we have the stomach to follow through.
No, it's understandable. It's a good point of view. I do think that I've got hope in this one. I do have hope that hopefully it's supposed to have some media coverage. I think maybe BBC and some of these people are supposed to be coming down and they're supposed to be doing some, video recordings and stuff like that. So hopefully it will get the big spotlight that it did. I know during that.
The biggest protest, Jords. What I would love is the season ticket holders to all say, you know what, the next home game we're not going. Yeah. That is the biggest statement that you can make as a fan. Is to say, you know what, bun you, I ain't going to the home game. Then that hits Levy in his pocket. That hits, you see that on the screen. It's bad for business. Us turning up on Sunday against United is a sellout crowd. So what, you're going to protest for an hour, then go inside, buy your pint, buy your burger, buy your chips. Do you know what I'm saying? The guy's making his peace. Like, let's be real. Like, stop it. Stop. Don't go. If you're legit, let's not go. But these guys, they love Tottenham so much. It's like it's an itch. But the craziest thing is these same people that are itching to be in the stands are the same people that will leave 20 minutes before the game's finished. And you think, where you going? You paid to be here. You wanted to be here so bad. Why are you leaving early? Might as well stay to the end. So that's the problem we have with our fans. Want to be there, don't want to stay. It's long. For me, march with your feet. If we could say, you know what, until you change Ange, or if we went 3 home games with no one turning up, Levy would step down. The damage it's doing to the club, they can't afford another home game to happen with no fans in the stadium. But are we going to do that? No. So that's why it's like, if I was Levy, I'll sit put and smile as well. I'll pretend that I'm bothered. It's just hurting his feelings, but it's not enough to move him.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. They haven't done enough. And it's one of those ones, especially season ticket holders. You have to look at, like, you guys already paid for your tickets, man. Just eat the 65 quid or whatever it is that you would be getting if you put it on the exchange, because it's really not that much. It's really not that much in the grand scheme of things. This is the cost of a shirt or something like that. We need to have some proper impact. Or if you are going to the game, how about all you thousands of people at halftime, you stay inside the stadium, don't come out to your seats. There's just got to be something visual that not only that people in the stadium are going to see, people that are watching going to see worldwide. So I think that's one of the biggest things is it needs to hurt Levy where it's going to be seen by everyone. But go on, Jacob.
I just wanted to put I think it's my headphones, because this is the second time I've tried to use them and I hear bad.
Yeah, it sounds fine now.
Yeah, I'm just using my phone audio now. So that's why my camera's off, so that way you're not like looking up my nose. But in regards, so the Qatari ownership, it's funny that every time there's a protest scheduled, there's some kind of Qatari ownership or Saudi ownership, or someone's inquiring about Tottenham, always before a protest, which I find comedically hilarious, like the Beyonce thing. However, they're talking about they're going to just keep Levy in the same place. So, like, you get the takeover that everyone's crying for, but Levy's still in the same position. So, like,
It doesn't make sense to me.
No,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't. Not with Levy. I think, like Yao pointed out, it's more of a business move as to why they would want to keep him. And I suppose it's from a business point of view, Levy's not a bad guy to have running the club, but when you look at it from a football point of view, it is a complete mess. So you can't really have much of an expectation there. But with regards to the protest itself, apparently they're going to be doing like a sit-in protest as well after the game, where all the fans sit in their seats. Not really too sure how effective.
Oh, that's the point. That's the point
That's
that I want
stupid.
to talk because this notion that, oh well, I can't not buy my, like, I want Levy out, right? But I'm giving him £3,000 a year for the season ticket, and you don't want to give that up because there's 100,000 people waiting in line to buy it up. I get that. You know what you could do? You like I proposed not going. They said, oh well, if you don't go, you have to go to a certain amount in order to like continue. All right, go scan your ticket and turn around and walk out. It's that simple. Empty seats, non-beers in cups, like that's what's gonna get the needle moving. Like I've always said, I worked for the Cowboys for 6.5 years, and I know firsthand, ain't nothing happening unless there's money involved. Especially if you're making money, they don't care. They don't care about on field. If you're making the money, bro, this guy's in a billions of dollar organization. They're profiting hundreds of thousands or hundreds of millions every quarter. What and who is dumb enough to be like, oh, they're mad at me about it? They're still buying everything. So
Exactly.
it's never going to change until like the spending, until like the income is changed. And the only way to affect that is DH gate, don't go, or don't complain. It's kind of the way I see it. It's like you're feeding the beast that is terrorizing the town, and then you're complaining about it. Don't feed him.
Yeah. No, you're damn right. You're definitely right there.
100%.
And I suppose last talking point before we head out, as briefly touched on by Ash, this weekend, Manchester United at home. I suppose one team that we've got 2 wins against, some fairly comfortable ones at that this season. Are you guys confident for that? I mean, I've already said that my piece on that. How do you guys feel?
As long as his goalkeeper's in net, I'm not confident about anything. As long as Kinski's in goal, we can lose the game.
Vicario should be back. He should be playing.
Bro,
Then I have a bit more confidence.
One under the age of 22. Every player that's under 22, Elijah's
He's
like,
gonna be 22 in a month.
well, he's under 22 still.
He's gonna be 22 in a month.
Kids, be honest.
Huh?
Is it Archie Gray hurt you?
What do you mean?
You hate Archie Gray.
Do I hate Archie Gray?
I am old school. I am Harry Redknapp. I like to see players play in their best position, and as good as Archie Gray is, you cannot tell me that the first goal against Liverpool was not his fault. You can't tell me that the goal at Everton weren't his fault. It's not his fault, but it is his fault. You know what I mean? If he was a proper right back, he was playing in that proper position, those goals don't happen. So I can't tell you I'm happy with Archie Gray and the position that he's playing. He is doing a job. It's very noble of him. It's very polite of him, and I respect it. But we're not getting the best out of him, and I don't know what he's learned this season. Apart from just being he's a stopgap. That's all it is.
What he did learn this year is how to body some Premier League players. He's put a few people in the pocket. Yeah, he's no Jed Spence. Don't get me wrong, but he's not as bad or as good as I think people say. I think he's somewhere, like, he's performing at a level not like an 18-year-old, but then he has those 18-year-old moments. Like you said, he's not impervious. Impervious.
Yeah, that's right. What?
Is that the right word? I don't know. Fuck
Yeah.
But I just think that, like, he's been thrusted into a position that maybe he wasn't quite ready for, but we needed bodies. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of. But in regards to Kinski, this goalkeeper, he's doing the same shit. Bro used to play for Slavia Praha, and Prohu, and Glaha. And we're talking about in the best league in the world, and he looks like he's sometimes a fish out of water. But I'll tell you one thing, on set pieces, He looks like a man. He ain't afraid to come out and grab that ball. Sometimes he is like
He don't
grab
grab it, he punches it.
yeah.
He
He does
punches
good.
it.
Bro, a 21-year-old goalkeeper, I've never seen a 21-year-old goalkeeper be like, outside of myself, obviously, be that good. Because
That doesn't mean he's good enough, bro. I don't care if you're the best 21-year-old. If you're not a good keeper, you're not a good keeper, bro.
He's not,
He ain't good.
but starting keeper, I think he can compete for that position.
Don't you think though, Elijah, in a few years, because let's be honest, I think Kinski's been signed as a player that was going to play very few minutes over the Vicario is going to cover most competitions. He would probably play when Vicario is not available and maybe progress in the next 3 to 4 years, but to become a potential star. I don't think he's going to be looked at as
Can I be real?
soon.
Can I be real? It's that there. The Liverpool game gassed me up, but actually I'm pissed. I think if Spurs were legit, we put 40 million down, we bring in Kelleher. That's a guy that if he was in our goal right now, maybe would be in the final.
Is he better than Vicario though?
Kelleher is better than Vicario. Vicario is whack, bro. Come on. I don't understand.
I like Vicario.
Vicario is not a top 6.
Maybe slightly
above. He's not top 6. No. We're talking, are we top 6 or are we mediocre here? Because what I want to see at my club.
Let's be honest, Vicario, if you're going to be a top 6 keeper, you need to be elite in or at least borderline elite in multiple facets of goalkeeping. Vicario's a great shot stopper, but that's it. He's terrible in the air and he's terrible with his feet. Sometimes his decision making isn't great.
I think he's decent.
I think he's terrible with his feet.
He doesn't shine.
I don't think he's good at all. That again is subjective, but I don't think he's that good with his feet at all. I think his shot stopping ability is elite, but that's it. And that's not enough for you to.
You know what it is for me?
Who's better, Kelleher or Vicario?
Vicario is better. For me, Vicario is better than Kelleher. I've seen enough from Vicario to think.
You're talking about Kelleher, the Liverpool goalkeeper.
Yeah,
Liverpool.
Vicario's better.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Even if they're on the same level, even if they're on the same level, or Vicario is slightly better.
But Vicario's better.
Yeah, Kelleher is a very good goalkeeper, by the way. He's very good. But even so, Liverpool haven't shown their trust in him for him to be the starting goalkeeper because next year they got Marmadashvili coming in to replace Alisson. So he's going to be leaving and going to another club. But 40 million would be nonsense use of our budget anyway, because let's be honest, Spurs don't spend money. So if we spend 40 million on a goalkeeper, that means we're not spending 40 million on an outfield goal.
Guys, I worry about set pieces against United. Vicario comes in and we start conceding corners again.
Yeah,
okay,
that's a worry.
So going into United,
you can't stop set pieces. What are we doing?
But the one thing is, United don't score goals because their attack is so bad. They break down their own attacks because when you have a player like Xerxes or Højlund up front, they're not that good. The movement is decent at times, but they can't get the ball into their feet and make stuff happen. So when I'm looking at that game and I'm trying to predict how it goes, I just don't see Manchester United scoring that many goals. The only goals they did score against us, we gifted, and that was Forster's fault.
Bro, can I be real? And I'm sorry to say this, bro. I expected us to lose to Leicester. And that's one of the worst teams I've ever seen in my life. United is better than Leicester, bro. We are going to get... Look, as much as I think United are in the mud and I think we could do something, I don't think any of us on this panel would be surprised if we lose this weekend. That's how bad we are.
To be fair.
Yeah, because Eugene just said it. United can't score, but we can't score. Like, where's our goal coming from, fam? That's really the issue. We don't know where our goal is coming from.
We do have a return of a player, and this may divide some people, but
tell me more.
Tell me, but that's what I was going to go on to. People obviously want to know.
Tell me, but I ain't listening, bro. You know, like
that. James Maddison's coming back. So if you. No, this
the way you man talk about him, shit, don't even say his name. Huh.
No. People know I'm not a huge fan of him, but if we are being honest, and you're looking at a player to find a striker, we do know James Maddison has that in his locker. Do you not think that James Maddison's one of the players that could help bring the best out of Tell in a game against Manchester United, whose defense?
Football,
I think so.
Football at the highest level is always going to be down to doing the correct things consistently, and we've had Maddison for nearly 2 seasons. You could probably pick. We're talking about give or take around 76 games at a minimum. That's how long we've had Maddison out in our team for. He's probably been injured for at least 20 of those games. And the other 56, I'd probably go as far to say 20 of those he was good.
I agree.
Well, they called
so that's
at
a
Leicester.
terrible return.
At Leicester, they called him Mr. 33% for a reason, because he's
You
good
see?
33% of the time, injured 33% of the time, and then he's shit the rest 33. So
I agree
All
with
right.
that statement.
No, it's definitely true. I just say I agree. I just think in moments again, mate. Look, maybe I'm making I'm buying into it again. Just thinking, yeah, senior players can do senior things, and I might be wrong, but I'm just looking at it and I'm like, maybe this could be a
Let
game
me
where
remind you why
Madison
you're
right.
wrong. Sorry, and I have to go. Sorry. Let me remind
Yeah.
you why you're wrong. I think you've been listening to Postecoglou a little bit too much. So you've bought into the narrative that when the players come back, we'll be fine.
No,
Let me remind you that towards the end of last season, we were losing games. At the beginning of this season, when the players were there, we were losing games, bro. Our performances hasn't changed. It's actually been quite consistent. I remember at the Brighton game where we still had our players saying, you know what, if we keep doing this win one, lose one, win one, lose one, we could lose 18, 19 games this season. And here we are coming up to mid-Feb. We've lost 13. So, bro, don't you buying into the narrative of Vicario's back, Udogi's back. We're still gonna get popped.
it's like
bro.
you
That's
no,
true.
but it's
We're
like
still
you
getting
say
popped, bro.
no, but it's like you say, Deji. It's Manchester Piccadilly, bro. It's not no one else. It's Manchester Piccadilly,
Bro, even the Piccadilly line is there on time, bro.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm leaning more Manchester United being bad than us being good. That's the way I see it in this game. But just look, before we do head out, Deji, because I know you got to go, and I think it's probably going to end up time here anyway. Can we just get score predictions from everyone on that game?
1-1 draw.
I was gonna say 1-1 as well. Yeah.
Mikey gets to play more than 45 minutes. It is long for United. All right, we got English version of Lamine Yamal. I'm still upset with Ange for subbing him at halftime, because that was our most dangerous player, in my opinion. And then whenever you finally put Tell through the middle, he actually scores a goal. So it's like, play Tell through the middle, start Mikey Moore, and I think we'll be fine. I'm gonna say 3-1.
I need Ange to
Having the
leave
confidence.
because I think Ange is a gambler. His favorite movie is Casino Royale. He has it on repeat. So for me, I think Tottenham need to lose. Tottenham need to lose 3-1 for him to lose his job.
Oh, he's not getting sacked.
I don't think he gets sacked regardless. But for my score prediction, I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be 3 for us. I'm gonna go 2 Manchester United. I think it's gonna be a close game. A lot of goals.
You said 3-2. What confidence do you get we're gonna score 3 goals? Like, I feel like you put numbers into a generator.
We're still the third highest goal scoring team in the Premier League. I'm pretty sure. Like we still.
How many, bro? Well, there's no way we're doing this, Jords. Don't do this, bro. Don't do this.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. We still.
All right, we're doing this then, bro. I can't trust a man with a white hoodie that has a stain on his hood, bro. I can't trust you. I can't trust you, bro. Right, let's stop with this nonsense.
It happens. But no, look, I'll be real. We're winning this game. But look, any final words from the panel before we do finish up? Does anyone have anything final to say on Spurs?
Yeah, Levy needs to go.
I can sing you my Mikey Moore.
Give
us the rendition.
Mikey Moore's all right, but I don't want to see that Ute starting either, to be honest.
Why?
I'm just done.
I agree. He's too young to be thrown in the.
Hey, I ain't trying to.
No, he's not an Ethan. Is Mikey Moore an Ethan? He's not a killer.
He's on this level.
He's not a killer, man. I want killers. I don't mind people coming in from the under-21s if they're killers, but none of these brothers are killers. Sorry.
He hasn't shown it like what Noir and Eric shown, sure, but I still think that he's one hell of a player. He's better on the ball than most of our wingers. He's more confident on the ball than most of our wingers. I think you get 2 guys who are young and hungry like Tell and Moore, and you let them play 70, 75 minutes, you're going to see something good. Because I don't trust any of these. I'm at a point, with that Villa game, the Liverpool game was like, bro, if the players are going to play like that, just throw the kids on. Who cares? Because at least the kids got something to prove, and they're a little bit more hungry than these fat cats, James Madison types. And I know he didn't play in either one of those games, but I don't rate.
Understandable.
He's
I
the
think-
English Bruno Fernandes. All right. I don't like Bruno Fernandes. I don't like Madison. I don't like dudes who are looking at the ref like Captain Save a Ho. Who's got a lifeline for me? Get your ass up and save your damn self.
All right, look, he's
Johnny
said
Kingsley
enough
can say
there.
it.
That was a perfect way to end it. Look, big up to everyone that's been inside for real. It's been a very good show. Boardroom talks as always. We'll be back in another 2 weeks. Very similar panel, but we'll figure out that along the way. But look, guys, everyone's channel is in the description, so show some love to everyone's channel. If you want to hear more from Yao, New Spurs Order, he's be over there. I'm over there sometimes as well. Elijah, Life of E, Too Much of E, that's in the description. Jacob, United Spurs of America, again, it's in the description. And Deji Spurs, your watch alongs, make sure you're there. But yeah, man, look, we're on 51 likes. Big up to the people. That was the aim. I was gonna say the aim is to get 50, but we got there before the end. So big up for everyone sharing love. And yeah, man, big up for tuning in. It's been a good stream. Boardroom Talks. We'll be back in 2 weeks.